Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 14th of August. I hope you are all well. I hope you've all had a great week. And I hope you are looking forward to finding out what this week has in store for us. I know I certainly am. Let's get straight to it and, oops, and see. Here we go. Okie doke. All right. Okay, let's have a look. So here we have the Page of Cups, we have a court card, and then we have the Queen of Swords, another court card, and we have the Seven of Swords. So we have two court cards and we have one major arcana card. So we're looking at kind of personalities and aspects of personalities here. Or we could be looking at people that are within our sphere, sort of people that may be mentors or aspects of ourselves. And then we're looking at sort of day-to-day kind of behaviors, sort of thing. So this is, this is kind of interesting here, what's going on. So let's start. So we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups represents a person, a young person. That can be somebody, it represents a young person on a journey of emotional self-discovery. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean, in my view, it doesn't necessarily mean a young person or a young person. It could be somebody at the beginning of their journey, if you like. So it's the beginning of a journey of emotional self-discovery. And so because pages tend to be the beginnings of something, and they also can be messengers. Now, so we're looking at somebody here who is imaginative and creative and full of hope. So this person has a natural talent for artistic expression, or maybe a deep interest in spiritual pursuits. Now, when this card comes up, it's encouraging you to embrace your intuitive side and to explore your emotions more deeply. So it's a lovely card, this, really. Now, and I'm going to move backwards and forwards here because I think this reading kind of requires that. So besides the Page of Cups, we have here now the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords represents a mature woman who is rational, practical and decisive. There's a lot of intelligence here, confidence, and also maybe a sharp wit, hence the sword. So the Queen of Swords is somebody who's not afraid to speak her mind and who values honesty above all else. And this card encourages you to use your intellect and your logic to make decisions and to seek out the truth in all situations. So we're looking at two very different things going on here. However, the Page of Cups is about communication. So blue here is the color of communication and healing and creativity. And that communication, communicating of the feelings comes through their creativity. So there's a little bit of conflict here between these two cards. So there's the conflict, if you like, between the emotions of the cups and the intellect of the swords. So, cups, they represent the creative side of you, whilst the Queen of Swords represents rational thinking and analytical, that analytical side of you. So, maybe you're struggling to find a balance between your heart and your head. Are you perhaps needing to make a difficult decision? Like maybe you're torn between what your heart is telling you and what your mind thinks is the best course of action. So these are the sort of things that can be coming up here with these two cards in the same reading. So you have the Queen of Swords is encouraging you to use your intellect and your logic and to weigh up your options and to make a decision that is rational and practical. whereas the Page of Cups is urging you to tap into your intuition and your emotional intelligence. So in a way, you know, maybe it is that you need to find a way to balance your emotions with your rational thinking in order to achieve your goals. Now, this brings us also over here to the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords tends to represent a kind of deception or betrayal. And it may imply that you or someone else in your life is having a difficult time getting away with something. So this card can be a warning to be careful of those who may be manipulating you or at least hiding their true intentions. And when this card comes up in a reading, it can signify a need to be cautious of those who may try to take advantage of you. So you do need to trust your instincts and to be very mindful of your surroundings. This card is telling you to be alert and vigilant. So, you know, it's really, I kind of loving how these cards are coming up, you know, trying to make sense of the three of them together, if you like. So when you have let's say you have the Page of Cups and the Seven of Swords, it's really kind of, you've got the page that's naive, and the warning in this card of the Seven of Swords is possibly like, you know, to say not to be too naive or too trusting of others, especially if there is a possibility of betrayal or deception. So we're looking at emotional immaturity here and sensitivity to reality here, with a need for growth and increased maturity. So this card here is saying be very careful who you're sharing your heart and your secrets with. So there is a real call here when you get when you get the Page of Cups and the Seven of Swords, it's also calls for a need to trust your intuition when it comes to relationships, and they could be either romantic relationships or professional ones, and to not blindly follow your heart. So, you know, this is your heart and this is your intellect. So, you know, on the one hand to trust your instincts, and on the other hand to use your head, kind of thing. Now there may also be it may also be signifying to stop procrastinating and to take action. So here you have the procrastination, here you have the action, and but when it comes to dealing with sort of challenging situations, I think we all know what it's like when we have a challenging situation, to put it off. Tomorrow's always another day, but maybe not in this case, you know. So what this is telling you is really that you do need to be strategic and clever in facing your obstacles and to stay alert. This card is all about staying alert and to avoid getting into kind of compromising situations. Now, we have here the Queen of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Now, this can really indicate that there is a kind of a strong indication here that there is a situation where someone is deceitful and dishonest. So we're looking here at the sharp intellect and of the Queen, and that ability to see through the deception that's going on over here. And this makes the Queen of Swords a real asset in this situation, that really sharp intellect, that ability to see the truth, to see what's going on. So now you can also have a situation here where, you know, maybe somebody is trying to outsmart other people, and there's sneaky kind of manipulative tactics taking place. And maybe you have the Queen of Swords is then representing your ability to use your intellect and sharpness to gain an advantage. So there's kind of games being played here. And here it's saying, like, trust your intuition. Don't let your head rule your heart. Don't let your heart rule you. Just trust this card is telling you to trust your gut instinct. So I'm going to go back here to the Queen of Swords, because what I love here is that, her ability to see the truth. So when you have these two cards kind of highlighted together, the importance is of being aware of your being aware of your situation, being aware that that there is a possibility of some deceitful behavior taking place with other people, and to use your intelligence and your rationality to uncover the truth. So it's kind of a reminder that sometimes we need to use our own sense of cunning and sharpness to achieve our goals, but we actually must do so with integrity and honesty. So there is a real kind of there is a real need for prudence, of caution in emotional situations. And going back to the cups here, is listening to our inner voice while dealing with, say, complex situations. But it's also very important to be strategic and to keep a watchful eye here on your surroundings. So don't let sort of like sentimentality cloud your judgment, and instead to use your intelligence and to make informed decisions. Now, if you can just see here where he's grasping the sharp ends of the swords here, whilst kind of like tiptoeing, this indicates that this situation does need to be handled with care. So there's there's quite a lot in this reading, and it's certainly, there is a lot of warning in this reading, to be careful of what's going on around you this week, and who may be trying to manipulate you or deceive you in some way, and that you do have, or somebody close to you has the ability to see through what's happening, to see the truth, and then you have to make a decision how you're going to manage this. So you have this intuitive, creative way of being able to manage it, and to kind of communicate what you want to communicate. But you have to be alert, and you have to be strategic in the way that you go about doing this. So it's yes. So I have to say, good luck with that one. I'm quite loving this. So this is the end of our reading for this week, and if it resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. And you can subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. If you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me, and you'll find my email address in the description of the video. So, lovely people, I'm going to love you and leave you, and talk to you next week.